welcome back to the established 87 YouTube channel. It feels a little bit weird saying that. I have had to re-record the intro already because it's the whole new refurbishment. But we'll get used to it, people. I promise. But today we're joined by Barney. Barney, how we doing, mate?
Very good, very good.
Glad to hear. It's glad. Very happy to have Barney on today as well. He's enjoying himself in Cyprus, and we've managed to get him on somehow. So we'll quite happily, have him on for this. But today we're going to get into the Accrington Stanley game tomorrow. Well, two games, in fact, split into two 60-minute sections. Well, it's quite simple. What everyone wants to know: what is JDT going to do with these two 60-minute games against Accrington Stanley? Yes, it is just a bit of game time and to get a nice little, idea of what the starting exercise is going to be. But Barney, these two 60 minutes against Accrington, is it going to be the case of, Team A and Team B just mixing the players up, or do you think he's going to go for a strong starting 11 and then also a youngster starting 11? What do you think he's going to go for, mate?
Well, as we saw last year, it's a time, we did it last year against Accrington. We did the exact same thing. So he might take the same idea and approach from that, where he used two different formations. He might do that this year. I don't know if he maybe one game he might do a five back, which he was using quite prominently at the first half of the season, and then maybe the 4-2-3-1, which is clearly his favorite formation when he gets the right players. Um, I'd probably say it wouldn't be a bad idea to try have maybe a first 11, a second 11, to give players who don't really have the opportunity to start, who aren't going to be in like the starting 11 first few games, to really show how good they are. I'd like to see maybe not probably some of the youngsters playing in that as well, like trying to get Vale involved. Of course, he's linked away to moves in League One to some big teams. Um, but I think John Thomason is definitely going to use this to experiment, and that's all what preseason's about: getting the boys, flexible and ready for the season by being adaptable.
Yeah, and I think for someone, our age, 20, 19, around our age anyway, it's going to be a weird one because now it's the new youngsters coming through who are going to be given more of a chance. For us, it was always, Jake Garrett and all them coming through together, Adam Wharton and whatnot. But this time round, you've got your Mackinac O'Grady coming through. You've got Charlie Weston coming through. You've got some exciting talent there. And, for me personally, it's a tricky one because we seem to have so much of the youth talent, even a couple of years above them. And to try and get them into the first team this year is going to be a difficult one. And I think that's why two 60-minute sections is so good, because you've got the youth products that have kind of already proved themselves. You've got your Jake Garretts, I would say Adam Wharton, but obviously we're going to get into him a little bit later. But you've got them who have kind of already proven themselves already. If they need to fill in the first team, they can do. But then you've got these who, could take it to a completely different level. So I'll tell you what, I'm really excited for it. Yes, it's Accrington Stanley, and as we all know, Accrington Stanley, who are they? But I still think it's a very, very good challenge for these young lads to come through. And also just for the boys who have got back from holiday, just to get some general fitness back up again as well. But getting into some of the team news coming into it, for me, it's a shame. I'm pretty sure a lot of people who decided to buy a ticket were going to see one man, and that one man was Arne Sigurdsson. And he's not playing because he's got back from holiday and he's only had 2 days of training. I had someone on Instagram before very, very angry about it, who said when he gets back from holiday, he goes back to work 2 days after. Don't think he's got the more physical aspect, of what Sigurdsson has got. But, hey ho, whatever. If he wants to sit and have a pint and judge what football players are doing whilst he's at his office job, that's up to him. But Barney, do you think it's going to be that much of a problem, or do you think it's just going to be that, he'll just fill in for the rest of the games instead?
I mean, when you think about it now, it does make a lot of sense why he wouldn't be playing. So I think it's almost like when we were given the news, we were like, oh yeah, of course, he's literally only been here for 2 days. So of course he's not going to be match fitness ready. It's a shame about, the other two as well. I mean, another new signing, Niall Ennis, doesn't get a play. And of course, Adam Wharton, who I'm sure, a lot of people also wanted to go see as well. He's definitely one to pin on. The next season is going to be one of our most important players, I would say. But there's still the positives. We get to see Tronstadt. We'll get to see, we'll get to see Dolan. Hedges. We'll get to see all the players that we want to see, and hopefully they put on a good show.
Yeah, and like you said, the Ennis won't be in there due to lack of match fitness. Bit of a weird one, really. I think that it is due to an injury he had at Plymouth last year that he's still properly trying to shake off. I think that's the difference when you step up a level in club, really. Plymouth fans, if you are watching, yes, we are a massive step up in level. I'd hope so anyway. If you want to clip that, just in case you finish above us, then by all means do it. But I think that with Plymouth, you kind of risk the injury-prone players because you need to in order to get to the Championship. Whereas with Blackburn, we'll quite happily let him off 2-3 more weeks off in order to get him back to the level where he needs to be, so that he won't get injured again. So I think that makes complete sense in my head. Whereas the Adam Wharton one, as we know, a little injury in training, hopefully won't affect him too much. Nothing too major. Hopefully in 10 days' time, we don't hear it's going to be extended to 3-4 weeks because it's a lot more serious than they thought. But overall, Barney, what do you think? Do you reckon it's going to be a good test for the players?
Yeah, I think it will be. I think it will be really good. Um, just going back to the Adam Wharton thing, I really hope it's not a recurring thing. Of course, we know he played a lot of football for us up until he got that injury for about 3 months, and then he was kept out of the team. So I hope he's back and ready. Hopefully in the near future, and can play most of the friendlies we've got coming up.
Yeah, and I don't think it'll be reoccurring. I think that if that's the case, it would have been something he would have brought through the youth levels as well. You've seen it with a lot of the big players who always had a bit of injuries in the youth levels, but you think, they'll grow out of it, but they never do. Whereas Adam Wharton's never had any reoccurring injuries. But yeah, it's going to be a good challenge for the boys, I think so. I think that it'll be a comfortable win in both games, hopefully. You'd hope so anyway. You'd hope that you could play the youth team that we've got against Accrington's first team and give them a good game still, no matter what. But yeah, let's see what happens. We're going to go over to Accrington and hopefully get a vlog over there for you guys. But Barney, thanks for joining us today, mate.
No worries, thank you. Pleasure as usual.
He's glad he's getting to go see all his mates and have a meal out in Cyprus. We're all jealous whilst we have to go to Accrington Stanley. But yeah, cheers for that, Barney. And yeah, everyone who's watching, make sure to like, subscribe, turn the notifications on for more videos. And see you at Accrington Stanley tomorrow, people.